Welcome back, everybody, to the Anti-Stall Racing IMSA series. It's the finale for round 10, for season 10, sorry, round 8, which will be, of course, the final round at Road America. Back at Road America, been a couple of seasons, I think, since we were last here. Joined once again by Alice for the final round. Alice, what are we looking forward to other than that torrential rain that we can see on screen?
No, I think that pretty much sums it up. This is some of the racing conditions of all time that we're currently experiencing, and the track is very soaked right now, and it's rumoured to dry off later in the race.
Right, Samir Rashad is going to dive to the pit lane to fix the suspension damage on that Ferrari. That's going to be a tough one to take. Or Samir, you can try something a little bit different with the 90-minute round that we've got here today at Anti-Stall Racing for season finale. And David van der Wacker is gone, and he's gone early. Quinton Verdonk, though, has got a mega start around the outside in that Ferrari. That four-wheel drive really working well off the start. Can Davey defend it on the inside? Remember, the Ferrari, good in a straight line, good on acceleration, not so good on the brakes. And Davey van der Wacker will retain the lead. It's a meatball flag for Samir Rashad. That's why he's going to have to jump to the pit lane so early, and will do. The Ferrari cannot get past, but he's going to have another go into turn 3. Can't get it done. Matteo Lemre sits P4, Daniel Renek in P3. GT3s are getting ready to go. We're going to watch this until the last moment. I'm watching it on my other monitor, so I'll tell you when they go and we'll jump to them. And Dave van der Wacker is going to be able to defend down into the next straight. And we're green in GT3. Daniel Morphy with a good start there to get away and pull ahead of the Ford Mustang on the inside of Albert P. Pete Preens in P3. Quinton Verdonk has taken the lead in GTP.
Oh,
we'll jump to that. Samir Rashad is out of the pit lane for his repair. Nearly gets wiped out by the Mustang that's going to go bowling down the inside. That's Matthias Weiten, who spins off the gravel and somehow hits no other cars.
Come on, guys, check this one. This is unacceptable.
Matthias Weiten saying it's unacceptable. I think he's not happy about the driver exiting the pit lane, understandably.
That is... I'm not sure that was actually because of Weiten. I'm going to be... Rashad, excuse me. I think he was present and was a problem, but I think that might just be a separate issue to whatever the hell happened.
This is when...
Verdonk.
This is how Quinton Verdonk challenged for the lead. Did not keep it in the end, though. So Verdonk on the outside and on the inside, and there was a hip check there. Side by side between Davey van der Wacker and Quinton Verdonk. And they're going to keep going at it up to the next corner, but Davey van der Wacker is going to get ahead and slot fully ahead of the Ferrari. And we're going to spinner in GT3. It's Pete Preens, who started so well. Started in P4, I believe, and has got damage on the rear end of that McLaren.
It's all going wrong here in this early going. Hard to tell through the camera angle, but there's just so much
Samir Rashad has found the wall again. What happened to Samir? Under brakes, we've seen him go wrong here in qualifying. And just too much speed again. And once you lock up in these GTPs, so hard to get it pointing the right way again. Callum Lux has been off. What's happened to Callum? Was there contact there? That's really hard to see. Let's go back a little bit further. Here we are, down the back straight into Canada corner. Callum looks ahead. No, just locks the rear axle, carrying too much speed. And is off into the gravel trap, but keeps going, crucially, once again. Daniel Morphy pulling away out front 1 second ahead. Championship rival Matthias Weiten down in P9 and into the pit lane.
Had damage from that initial pile-up on that first lap, not surprising he'll be taking the early pits.
Daniel Morphy will be loving this. This is a chance for Daniel Morphy in the championship. This is what he needed to go wrong for his rival, who's into the pits early. Will need to take damage and fuel and fuel in this pit stop. And you know what? He's not going to be able. He's still going to have to do the same number of stops from this point onwards as the rest of the field. There's going to be an awful long way down the order. We are out of the rain now, very nearly, and that's going to be it for today's session in terms of bad weather.
Oh,
it's a big pack up here.
Pair, but this is where it gets dangerous. Looks. Be very careful. You probably have the pace to get through here, but you need to just make sure you aren't
side by side ahead of Callum Lux.
No, that is Callum Lux is just trying to barrel his way through. He goes around the outside of turn 7. Trying to switch back across, gets to the inside again. Callum Lux is slicing and dicing right now.
McLaren is absolutely fine. Let's go. Let's not go that on board. Let's go this on board. Callum looks flying through the big bend.
Let's get a full view of this lap one. So here's the rejoin from Ashan. That just why just Preens gets on the brakes?
Let's take another look at this because Matthias Weiten is going to get it back into the back, or someone gets into the back of Matthias. I'm not sure who that was. Was that Callum Lux on the start? Yeah, that would be why Callum has the damaged nose. Verdonk with damage from P2. He's got a meatball flag. What has happened to the race leader? Well, this is what happened to Davey, but when Quinton seemingly has followed Davey off here.
I would agree with that assessment.
The
I
race
think all of them
leaders
got
trying to
a little bit worse
outbrake
than
each
the
other. They're so far ahead of the rest of the field. What? Wow, that was interesting. Both of them finding a barrier. Very lucky that they both got the lead that they have. Ben Groneveld and Melvin Gack are battling it out, by the way. This is how Melvin Gack got past Groneveld. On the brakes,
That
deep
is
on the brakes, an
insane
awful lot of
behaviour.
speed, and no way he's kept it on the road. Yes, he has in the Audi. Melvin Gack for Drakeem Racing Team. What a move in the wet conditions. Side by side,
Van Binsbergen.
Van Bisbergen and Ivan Veska battling it out. Van Bisbergen trying to get ahead. Daniel Morpy's dropped down to P3, by the way. We're going to discuss that in a moment, and is still tumbling down the order. We're going to try and find out what happened. And here it is. This is what happened to Daniel Morpy through turn 1. It's going to make a mistake into turn 3, I fear. Too much speed and whoa, goes for a spin. No barrier, though.
Lazy spin. But also you've got no speed now and just about gets out of the way. Do you have a replay of the Melvin Gack Ben Groneveld incident as well?
Sure I will.
Because
this one?
that was a big wreck.
Already gone wrong.
Yeah,
here.
that's the result of it. As Gack just gets a lazy spin at some point. This is through the horseshoe. It just loses on exit there. Brakes not working too well in these mixed conditions. Ends up backwards on the track. And yeah, just a rather unfortunate chain of events that ends up with Groneveld losing the bumper, and that's back under investigation. Thanks, race control.
This is what it looked at, unless the damage was from damage
That
from
looks
there.
more like a meatball, yeah.
And that probably explains why he went straight on at the next corner. Has come in and done the fast repair and spins on pit exit. Daniel Renek bothers the barrier on pit exit.
Oh no!
And is gonna try and get that car spun round, but so little grip on the grass. The nose looks in surprisingly good condition on the BMW.
What have we done?
We are in a position. Matteo Lemre is not only fighting for a podium, he currently runs P2 in this race. The championship contender has found the barrier at the kink. That was a proper Joseph Newgarden on the curb. Clubbers the wall sideways. And carries on.
Oh. No, you can't be carrying on though.
Van Bisbergen going for the
whack.
move. Sorry to interrupt. Into the kink. On the inside. Oh, side by side. They're going to try and hang it out in the GT3s. The Mustang and the Mercedes going side by side.
Still there.
Down into Canada corner. He's gonna get best on the brakes here. Daniel Morpy is carrying on, by the way. He's still going. And I believe we have now lost the fourth GTP car, from this race. Daniel Renek.
Yep.
No longer running. So
retires.
Matteo Lemre in proper contention here for a podium. Just needs to hit that 80% race distance. Looks has been given a 15-second time penalty. That's for that collision on lap 1 with Matthias Weiten. Matthias Weiten needs to get to P5. Or maybe even P4 to completely secure the championship on his own. If Morpy wins, I think 6 won't be good enough for Matthias Weiten, which is where he currently runs. He's currently stuck behind Melvin Gatt, which is costing him crucial time to the cars ahead.
Morpy has actually slowly caught up to Sanchez, now getting down to 3-second gap, so Morpy could just retake the lead of this race. Presumably he was going to use the fast repair to went on normal service, basically, if the car's not too damaged. I'm surprised that was a hard hit for Morphy into the wall, but obviously still going as Gak holds the outside of Viton, finishes him down to the apex, but fair racing so far, but they just hold Viton behind.
Good to know
And
from
here's a
race...
GTP behind him.
Race Control could confirm to me what class Binsbergen is running in.
Oh,
Contact in
here we go. We've got
GT3!
drama.
That's not what Mateus needed. He could be penalised for it. We'll take a look and see what Race Control think. But that could be costly for Mateus Weiss. Can someone please confirm from Race Control what class Binsbergen is running in? I believe he's in Pro for points.
I think he might be at no point scoring if he's Invitational.
We find out Race Control, because
Yeah.
that's going to matter in the championship, big time. The investigation, let's take a look at what happened between the GT3 drivers. Remember, the AM drivers are allowed to fight with the pros. Quinton Verdonk has just arrived on the scene with an awful lot of speed, but has quite smartly backed off here.
Like, fair play from GTP here, but like...
Oh, Matthias lost it on the brakes.
No, that's a slam dunk penalty. I'm sorry, Viton. That is, you can't be doing that.
There's going to be a penalty coming Matthias's way. Into the pit lane from the lead is Sergio Sanchez. Albert Preem going to follow him in. Daniel Morphy and Callum Lux stay out for another lap. We've seen Daniel Morphy do this before to take the win at the Nürburgring, remember, when he stayed out. And this is going to cost Sanchez the lead in GT3 Pro and hand the lead back to Daniel Morphy. And that is a costly mistake. It's not like we've seen other drivers have a half spin and be pointing in the right direction. Sanchez ending up in the wrong direction and will have to try and make up and get back into the lead. Daniel Morphy and Callum Lux both in this time by. Not surprising to see Daniel Morphy in after the mistake for his rival.
Now it's just Morphy has control of this race, needs to just maintain control of this race.
Morphy back out on track. Sanchez just coming down and past the pit exit now. Will stay ahead of Callum Lux, but he's now behind Viton, Preem and Morphy. But Viton not pitted yet. Remember, he had to make an emergency pit stop earlier in the race and he's now directly behind his championship rival, so this could get spicy. Up on the dries. Callum Lux is going for dries. Surely. Melvin Gak is in the pit on dries. Is Callum Lux going to gamble on dries here?
Melvin Gak is staying in the pits on dries.
It's dries for Callum Lux. You can see them on the barrier. Morphy wins if they're tied, we're told by Race Control. But this could change everything because Matthias Viton is now in P4.
Callum Lux is gambling, and you know what? In your position, sure, I don't mind a bit of like risking, but like, you see the issue already. I'm so scared for Callum Lux right now.
If this goes wrong, this could swing the championship right back towards Matthias Viton. Now, the Sector 1 time from Callum Lux was 4 tenths shy of the Sector 1 time of Daniel Morphy, but Matthias Viton is the car we need to watch. He's only 4 tenths shy of Matthias Viton, and in Sector 3, he's 3 tenths quicker than a lot of the field, 4 tenths quicker than some of the other cars. So maybe the grip is now there in some parts of the lap for Callum Lux. Fastest in Sector 3, personal best in Sector 3, personal best in Sector 4 for Callum Lux, and they are very good Sector 3 and Sector 4s. In fact, a second quicker than some cars in Sector 4. I think we have now hit the dries, but you've got to not make a mistake and you've got to bring them up to temperature. Remember, it took Callum Lux at least a lap to bring these tyres up to temperature with aggressive weaving down the straight. But I think we're going to get some more cars in to try it soon. Daniel Morphy is stretching out that lead, by the way, in GT Pro, which is going to be crucial for opening up a pit stop window. Callum Lux is flying here. Look at the closing speed on Ivan Vezgov. Now we are properly in the swap changeover period. Callum Lux is going to struggle to make up. He's going to struggle to make up the pit stop loss, so I think is going to be a problem here for Callum Lux. Around the outside, we'll try and get to enjoy a bit of a track under braking, and does, and keeps it on the road. Crucially, Vezgov's going to try and stick his nose back down, but not beat the grip. Slick tyres on exit. Matthias Viton into the pit lane.
If this is to dries, and it should be on to dries, this might be a championship winning move.
Only 5 seconds behind though, so he will come out once again in 5 once you remove Binsbergen from the equation.
Yep, there it is. Dry tyre. But Lux has to pit 2 more times. Hopefully, assuming the fuel works out, Biden should only need to pit once.
Callum Lux sets the fastest lap of the race in GT3, a 1:16. Sergio Sanchez 2 seconds behind him. Who can get these tyres into a warm window better? Callum Lux is absolutely flying and has put himself a long way ahead of Matthias Weiton by getting on those dries a little bit earlier. There's going to be a question for the McLaren driver. Matthias has that 10-second time penalty serve, which could cost him if Callum Lux makes up enough time on that stint on the dries to offset, plus another 10 seconds for the penalty as the lapped car gets out of the way. Callum Lux in the pit lane with a meatball.
Oh dear.
Well, this could really save Des Viton's day. Big snappings.
Whoa.
That's a toe.
That is a wild place to have a moment. And also a completely insane moment as well.
And that is going to hand P4 to Matthias Weiton. Will take P4 on the road, which will be enough for the championship if he's able to finish it. Has a 10-second time penalty to serve, but Pete Preens is a long, long way back. Or me.
Oh, more P. How the bloody hell did you save that? We'll lose the lead, but my god, what a power slide.
Seen it go wrong for Callum Lux. We're about to see it go wrong for Daniel Morpede. Somehow not maintain the lead, but maintain P2. And that's just how quickly it can go wrong, and that's just how quickly it can go wrong for any driver in this field. Right,
and there's
now,
a race for lead GTP. Van der Vacker now has pressure from Quinten Verdonk.
Kevin in chat, right now, Weiton would win, I believe, with the way they run. And right now, Quinten Verdonk is going to try and take the lead in the Ferrari, and is going to do so on the exit with some mega drive in that Ferrari. Remember, Davey potentially playing the long game here on fuel, be able to push a lot more and a lot more aggressively was. But remember how difficult these GTP tyres are to get up to temperature, and in these wet conditions, it's even harder. Remember how quickly they drop off as well, how quickly the grip goes away, especially around a track with so many high-speed corners like Road America, and maybe Dave Van der Vacker will be able to fight back once he gets those tyres into temperature a little bit more.
What I'm worried about is Verdonk is going to put the foot down and launch off into the distance. It's not happening. Van der Vacker coming back slightly, but you need a little bit of an overlap to make a move. That's a huge overspeed action. He's going to send down the inside.
That's going to go so wrong, surely.
Ooh.
Vacker absolutely flying. Now those tyres are up to temperature. Sits in the toe. Goes to the left. The defence is to the inside for the Ferrari. They're side by side into turn one. Can Van der Vacker use those BMW brakes, which aren't brilliant, but are better than the Ferrari ones, to hang it around the outside? No, he can't. And potentially be another opportunity to turn 5, or is there an opportunity into turn 3? No, there's not. Van der Vacker might have compromised the run into turn 5 here, but no, still gets a decent exit, and he's closing once again on the Ferrari rapidly.
The BMW has a lot more pace than the Ferrari does right now. Oh, here we go. GT3 on the way.
To the outside again for Van der Vacker. Going to try and keep his nose in this time, though.
No. I think Verdonk can just go defensive here.
Morpie's closed down the lead in GT3 Pro as well, but Matthias Weiton currently runs P4, which is all he needs to do. This has too much, but the Ferrari's off! And they're going to be side by side in the final corner, and Van der Vacker is going to sweep ahead. But is that going to give the Ferrari a tow down the start-finish straight?
Not enough. Not from that far back. You cannot gain enough speed down here, even if it's a huge straight. I'm now curious what if Verdonk has the pace to keep close, because it seemed like Van der Vacker was able to hold onto the back of Verdonk for the longest time. I'm just worried Verdonk is just going to fall back now. Close.
Potential for a move here, Daniel Morpie. Just might see the championship contender on his outside and think I'm not going to fight him too much. But he's going to fight him, and he's going to push him off the road a little bit there. I've lost between the...
Honestly, if I'm Morpie, I might have taken a small hip check there just to establish space, and also, like, say to Sanchez, listen, I am here.
Another
you
good
have to
exit.
by at some point. Otherwise, race control is going to have to get involved. God, Morpie has so much pace right now, just on a straight line. Early defensive move from Sanchez. It's going to be side by side in the braking. They're going to have to tuck back in. It's a little
Morpie tries to switch
there.
back, but yeah, too far off the racing line, and the rear end gets loose.
Vesga, I love you, but please be careful.
To get out of the way of both of them here. Sanchez and Morphy, they both picked up a drive-through from a 4X that they just had with each other. What's this going to do? Albert Preem, 28 seconds down the road, these two are going to go straight through the pit lane and hope that they come out in the lead. He told you it wasn't over. That's how quickly you can get a drive-through. Mateus will be thinking exactly the same thing.
I don't know how, but the final 15 minutes have turned into an absolute showstopper now because they're both going to drive through the pit lane. Preem is not going to get close enough, I don't think. They should get up to speed by the time Preem gets to them. But also, holy moly.
Well, they are up to speed, but Preem is definitely in this fight now if these two lose too much time fighting each other.
That's here we go.
Morphy going to be on the outside,
side.
but he's going to be marginally ahead perhaps into the braking zone, but not far enough ahead. But can he cut back and switch back to carry a little bit more speed through the apex of Canada Corner? Yes, he can. He's going to try and go around the outside here. This has gone wrong for Morphy before, but it was with the GTP last time. Morphy shuffled out wide, but he's still alongside, and we'll get down the inside into the final corner. We'll try and get the drive off the final corner, and Sanchez behind will try for a cutback, but he can't do it, and Morphy retakes the lead in GT3, and the championship is on if something goes wrong for Mateus Weitern behind.
But Morphy's done everything to get to this point. Everything you can to at least try and get this championship. You can go no further. You just have to keep Sanchez behind, which might be easier said than done, but for now, it's no longer in Morphy's hands. It is in the hands of the Dutchman in 4th place, who does just need to drive a normal race for the last 10 minutes. How hard could that possibly be?
Kevin Vesantvor asks, who is the champion at the moment in AM? Oh no, who is champ at the moment? Champ at the moment is Mateus Weitern. They cross the line as they run right now. Mateus Weitern will be.
Brackets in GT3 Pro.
Pro GTP, Quinton Verdonk won the champion. Round. Gap that he had. Dave van der Wacker will win today's race, so in the BMW, pretty dominant performance in the end. Played the strategy right, played the tyres right, and will win in E. Daniel Morphy wins in GT3 Pro, but it will only be P2 in the championship for the Dutchman.
Well, don't say it yet. There's still Canada Corner for Weitern. He does need to finish this race. Preem is on the lead lap, or
yeah, he is. No, he has taken the checkered flag now.
Preem is not on the lead lap, but Mateus Weitern has won the GT3 Pro Championship.
The multiple-time GTP champion, when the class first came to the Amstel Racing IMSA Series, will now win in GT3. Going to get some donuts. Luca Picardi be your champion in GT3 AM as well, although he's still got half a lap to go to do so. And Veska.
Veska's got up massively.
And Mateus Weitern has finished ahead of Albert Preem as well. I think Preem out of fuel.
Oh, imagine if that was the championship deciding moment.
Yeah, I'm very glad that the championship was not decided by your teammate running out of fuel. 13's been difficult this race, but it's not difficult for him, and Veska really pushing the absolute limits here, and probably knows it's not on the table, but he's going to give it everything to the line. He get a good exit, he can, but it's not going to be enough to beat the MW29. Ivan Veska will finish P2, and Luca Picardi will take the win and the championship in GT3 AM. All three championship winners on the podium in the end, after Albert Preem ran out of fuel towards the end of the race, allowing Mateus Weitern to pass him.
And
Let's
Morphy.
go. Come on.
Thank you to everybody that joined us all season. Thank you to you, Alice, being here all season. And, great to have you. Hopefully we'll have you back again next season, and it'll be great, and we'll see you next time.